So before we start deploying our Node.js program in the web server, so we'll discuss what is that Node.js program consists of. So specifically it is a Node.js server program. These programs we have discussed in the last week class itself. It is simple create server program. So this particular create server listens to the GET request. When it receives a request from the client, it will send the response to the client back. Okay, the response is nothing but it is simple hello world. Okay, in addition to that, information about the date. Okay, so what is the dt.myDateTime? DT is nothing but instance which is created for a new date. I hope this program we discussed in detail in the last week portion. The one thing you must understand, the server which we are going to design will listen in port number 8081. Okay. In addition to this Node.js program, we also written a simple HTML program. Okay, the simple HTML file is designed to invoke the Node.js program that we are going to host it in the AWS web server. So in this HTML file, nothing is there. Inside body, we have only one form is there, and we set the method as get because we know that the server will respond for a get request. And the action field, we are supposed to give the location of the Node.js server. Usually in the local system, we specify http://localhost:8081. But we are hosting it in the remote system. Let us check what is that we are supposed to give it in this action field. And in the HTML form, we have a simple input tag. This input tag is nothing but it is a button, submit button. Okay, whenever you click the button, it sends the get request to the particular web server. Okay, so two simple programs. One is a Node.js program, other one is a HTML program. Nothing else is there. Okay, now log into your AWS Educate account. And go to AWS account. Click on AWS Educate Starter account. Under My Classes, click on Cloud Computing and Services. Then click on AWS Console. Okay, the first step, if you want to install Node.js program in the EC2 console, of course we'll have to create a virtual machine first. So we thought of creating the Ubuntu server as we discussed in the previous session. Go to EC2 and launch instance. Here type the Ubuntu server name. The Ubuntu server name, what we used in the last session is Ubuntu server 16.04. The same thing I'm going to use because of the free tier. So I'm going to select x86 machine, and the rest of the settings I'm going to leave it as a default. So whatever the settings, I'm not going to next tab, that is configure and install detail. Instead of that, I'm directly going to a review and launch. So as I'm going to keep all the steps as default steps, I'm directly going to review and launch. So in this step, if you look at this, it details the complete aspects of the properties of the virtual machine we're going to create. Okay, since we are using all default values, Okay, you no need to bother much about this. Click on the launch. So it is asking whether use an existing key pair or new key pair. So I wanted to create a new key pair. So my new key pair, I mentioned it as my second key. Download the key pair, then launch instance and view instance. Please wait until the state of the instance it becomes running. So meanwhile, I would like to keep the key which we have downloaded now into the directory where I have my Node.js and HTML program. It will simplify my work. Okay, currently the key which I have downloaded is there in my downloads. From downloads, all my programs I have kept it in the my EC2 folder. All my programs, in the sense 2 programs, Node.js program and HTML program. Main 1.js is the Node.js program and the sample 1.html is the HTML file which we discussed. The same directory I would like to keep my key as well to simplify my operation. Okay, fine. Now I will go back to the console. Look at this, my status is running now. It means that my instance is ready to connect. So click on the connect button. Okay, first one, set chmod command to the key. Go back to the place where you have your programs and as well as the key, either in the terminal prompt or in the git bash prompt. Okay, go to that particular location. This particular step varies from operating system to operating system. So I am in the current directory where I have my Node.js, HTML and key files. Let us check once. Okay, all 3 files are there in this particular directory. So I can give chmod command now. So chmod 400 read permission my second key dot perm. Okay, then I'll have to give ssh command to connect to the instance. So ssh command, I'm going to get it from the connect to your instance console. Copy that, come back to the command prompt or terminal, give the ssh command and enter. It is asking us the permission, confirmation, give S. So giving S will connect us with the Ubuntu terminal. Now my intention is I supposed to install Node.js packages inside this Ubuntu server. Then I can start executing my Node.js program. Okay, how do I install? This particular file details you the steps. This particular file I will share it with you. You can use this step to check and to deploy your Node.js server. The first step, create AWS EC2 instance. This we have finished. Download the key. It is finished. Connect to the instance. It is finished. Now this particular step, okay, inbound traffic in AWS, okay, this we have to change. Since we have accepted default configuration, this particular virtual machine allows only SSH traffic. Currently, after installing Node.js program, I wanted to use the HTML file to connect to the instance. In that case, my traffic will be HTTP traffic. Okay, so I'll have to make sure I need to enable HTTP traffic in the newly configured virtual machine. This particular step details you that. Okay, so select the security group, EC2 dashboard, select the security group, select the proper group ID and click inbound and edit to change the rules. This step we are going to do now. Okay, so go to your console. This particular place, it displays the active virtual machines. If you navigate here, this will display the security group. Okay, there is a column security group. Okay, there is a security group listed here. Launch-Wizard2 is the security group which I have used to create this particular virtual machine. I'm going to click on this. Okay, it is clickable. So I'm going to click on this Launch-Wizard2. It will take me to the security group. Okay, so this is a security group, Launch-Wizard2. Okay, in the action, I'm going to edit inbound rules. So in the inbound rules, I have mentioned only SSH. Okay, so in addition to that, I want to make sure I'm going to open it completely. So I'm going to say all traffic. All traffic. Okay, and what is the source? Anywhere. Okay, so only these changes I wanted to do it in the security group to make sure my HTML file communicates with the remote Node.js program. Save the rule. Okay, now my rules have got saved. I can go to dashboard. This dashboard lists my current instances which is currently active. Now I'm going to go back to my steps. Okay, so this first step we have already finished. The second step is to connect it to the remote server, that is also we have finished. After that we have to update apt. Okay, apt. So sudo apt-get update. This is the command we're supposed to give it in the terminal prompt. So I'm going to clear this for the better understanding. Here I'm going to give sudo apt-get update. This particular command will update my apt. Now it is finished. The next step, I need to install Node Packet Manager in my Ubuntu system. So the command to install Node Packet Manager is sudo apt-get install npm. Okay, so this particular command installs all the required packet managers to facilitate executing the Node program, Node.js program. This will take a couple of minutes. This will install all the necessary Node packages. Okay, meanwhile, we'll copy the next command. The next command is to install Node.js environment. Okay, so command to install Node.js is sudo apt-get install Node.js. Come back and execute the command sudo apt-get install Node.js in the command prompt. It says it's already done. Sometimes the operating systems will look for the legacy Node.js. So for a trouble-free operation, we'll also enable Node.js legacy systems as well. Okay, there are few operating systems. This step is optional. This is not required. Okay, few operating systems it is must. So it is always better to execute this command, legacy system. Now all the Node packages have been installed. Now it is ready to this particular environment. Now ready to execute your Node.js program. Now we will go back to the steps look at this particular step, I have created a new directory in the AWS console. Okay, I have created a directory called var www client src. This step is completely optional. So I'm just creating a proper directory to keep the Node.js server. It is not necessary that you'll have to keep it in the proper directory. Instead of that, if you keep it in the home also, that works fine. So because of that reason, I'm going to skip these two steps. Okay, I'm not going to create any directories inside my virtual machine. I'm going to keep the Node.js program in the home directory itself. Okay, now the thing is, we have the Node.js program as well as the HTML file both in our local system. Somehow we'll have to port Node.js program to the remote machine, that is AWS virtual machine. Then only we can execute that program in the Ubuntu environment. So what is that we supposed to do? First we have to say, okay, chmod 600 sample1 underscore HTML. This is not required. I'm going to take the second one, chmod 600 main1.js. This is my Node.js program. So take this particular command, go back here. There is no point giving that command in the remote system. So what I supposed to do, I will have to open one more command prompt, second command prompt. Okay, the same directory. Second command prompt. Create a second command prompt. Don't worry, it is not a complicated steps. One command prompt to connect it to the instance. I have opened a second command prompt to upload my Node.js program to the EC2 console. So here I'm going to give chmod 600 main1.js. For the next command, I'm referring my system. If you look at this, SCP command I supposed to use for a secure copy. Okay, so for secure copy, there are two things are required. If you want to securely copy one particular file to a remote machine, I supposed to use SCP command. In addition to that, I supposed to use the key file name and the file which I wanted to copy it to the remote server, here Node.js program, okay, and the server name itself, in which particular server I wanted to copy. We will see where do we get these parameters one by one. First of all, instead of this first.pem, I supposed to use my current key file name. My current key file name is my second key. So I supposed to take the key file name, the second key.pem, second key.pem, the file name I have taken, go back to the place and replace it here. Okay, this is my key file which I generated just now while creating the EC2 instance. Okay, and this is the location of the main file. This location I did not change. In your case, if you have it in a different location, you are supposed to give the appropriate path name where you have that main file.js. Everything, if you keep it in the same directory, this path is not required. You can simply specify /main1.js. That is more than sufficient. Next, so to securely copy this particular file to the remote host, I need to have the address of the remote host. Where do I get an address of the remote host? This is the address of the remote host. The first part of the address is the username. The Ubuntu system which we have created, the username is Ubuntu itself. This part I need not change anything. But this is the part, okay, is taken from address of the current system or current virtual machine. Go back to the EC2 console. So go back to the EC2 console. If you look at EC2 console, okay, under the description tab, there is a option called public DNS IPv4. Okay, if you look at the public DNS IPv4, whatever there in the public DNS IPv4, copy the entire thing. This is supposed to be the address of the server. Okay, copy this and go back to the place and replace this by the address, new address of the EC2. And in this particular username, in this particular host, where do you want to copy the program main1.js? I want to copy it in the home directory itself. So the colon specify, okay, the colon specifies the home directory. The home directory itself, I wanted to copy. So copy the complete command, execute this from the terminal, okay, where you have both the programs. So this particular step will copy the main1.js, okay, to the remote server. So it says the main1.js is copied 100% to my remote server. Let me check, okay, whether this particular file is copied or not. So go back to the other terminal where you have connection with the Ubuntu server. Since my client broken the pipe, I supposed to give the SSH command, the previous command, to connect it to the server. I'm giving it one more time. Okay, I am in my Ubuntu prompt, virtual machine. I'm going to give an ls. Okay, look at this. I have main1.js, okay, is there in my place. So there are two command prompts. First command prompt, go to the directory where you have all the programs, and by using secure copy SCP, copy it to the remote terminal. Okay, the second terminal prompt, I have connected with the Ubuntu EC2 Ubuntu. Okay, now if you look at this particular place, I have my main1.js in place. Now what I supposed to do? I supposed to execute this main1.js, okay, to make it available to the public. How do I execute this? Go to the instruction file, okay. So the command to execute, this particular step I am going to skip because I did not create a directory structure which I have mentioned it in the document. Because of that, I need not specify this particular command. I'm just going to execute my node program directly, node space main1.js. This particular command will make your Node.js program active. See, now my Node.js program is active in the server. Okay, so it is ready to service the incoming request. Now how do I check whether this particular server is really providing the service or not? Now I'm going to take the sample HTML file which I have it in my folder. Okay, I have it in my folder, sample HTML file. Okay, I'm going to open it in the Visual Studio prompt. This is a sample HTML file which I have it in the folder. Okay, in this everything is fine. What is the thing I supposed to give it in the action? This particular file I did not upload anywhere. I kept it in my local system itself. Okay, so what is the server address? The server address I supposed to specify http:// and IP address of the server. Where do I get IP address of the server? Go to the AWS prompt. Here you will be getting the IP address in the same description tab. You got IPv4 public IP address. You copy this particular address. In the previous step, you have copied DNS. In this particular step, you're supposed to copy the exact IP address. Okay, this address points to the EC2 server. Okay, now this IP address, I'm going to give it in my HTML. Okay, colon, which particular port your server listens? 8081, the server address. Okay, this completes my work. See, form method get the action field, the complete address of the server where your Node.js program is currently listening. This IP address, I am taking it from the EC2 console. and this is the port number I have given as part of my Node.js program. I'm going to go back to the Ubuntu console and cross check, okay, whether the server is listening in the port number 8081. This is correct. So now I'm going to execute my HTML file and check whether it is receiving information from the server. Okay, I'm going to save this, then open it in the live server. I'll open it in the web browser. Okay, this is my HTML file. This I am executing it from the local system. If you double click the HTML file, this will open. If I say get data, okay, this is supposed to get information from the server. Some issue. Okay. Now look at this. When my server is giving some error, okay, it says my date time is not defined. So some error in the program. I'm going to resolve this error. So how do I resolve this error? Go to node, stuff node, give vi main.js, okay, escape, okay, I. Here, instead of making the program to complicate it more, I simply going to remove this particular, okay, dt.mydate. I'm simply going to give dt itself. Okay, so this will print the current date, time, and everything. Okay, because of some library issues, okay, we are getting that. Okay, save and come out, escape :wq. Again, you execute your node server. Now you can go back to the HTML file and check whether your program is properly working. Okay, this is my HTML file. Okay, HTML file. I'm going to click on get date. Okay, now see, I'm getting an output from the Node.js server. Okay, this is a open IP. Anybody or anyone in the world can access this. Okay, now what I'm going to do, I'm going to give you the HTML file through WhatsApp. You can use this HTML file and you can connect it to my Node.js server.